Hey everyone, my name is Danilo Petrovic.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Denis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Here we are again, JG, another Game to Love podcast. And we've had some pretty crazy results over the past few days. Have you been keeping all right? Have you been keeping up with all the tennis? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I've been watching here and there. You know what it's like. We're trying to fit in work, watching tennis and everything else. But the only good side about being at home all the time is there's not really much else to do. So been watching the tennis. Obviously, we've seen all the rounds now up until I think we've got a few semi-finals going on right now in Delray. Yeah, it looks like ones have just been postponed or interrupted due to the rain. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't cause too much of an effect for obviously the final tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to be covering all of the finals, doing the live watch-alongs. Well, not all of them. I think we're going to have to choose between either Antalya or the WTA one in the morning, and then we'll be definitely doing the Delray one, which is later on about I think it's like 8 p.m. UK time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they've pretty screwed us with the timings on these, haven't they? But what can you do?
Mate, it's a complete nightmare because we've got one right in the morning and then one right at night. So we've got the whole day of just like, what we're going to do?
I know. Well, when I woke up this morning, I think Goffin and de Minaur were already just at the end of the second set. So going to have to set the alarm a little bit earlier tomorrow morning, and then we'll have to be up see which one we're going to be covering. Maybe covering the exciting women's one.
Yeah, I reckon the women's. I think the WTA one's going to be quite exciting. Obviously, Sabalenka is into the final. She's beaten some top players to get there as well. We'll go into that in a minute. Just give a shout out to some of the people in the chat. Obviously, Thomas Rock's here. How we doing, mate? Jackie calling us the Love Lads. Hope doesn't mean we're in love, but no, just a game to love. Yeah, that'll do. Nat is here as well. Hello, everyone. I'm back catching a live show. Welcome back, Nat. Mary as well, going for the WTA. Yeah, we're going to do the WTA. I think it was 50-50, but I don't know. I think the WTA for me, I think that's going to be quite an exciting match.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and I think that the matchup, with the way that tournament's gone, to be honest, I think has been a lot more exciting. I've watched some of the Antalya one as much as I can, and the matches haven't come to life quite in the way that I would have really hoped. Yeah, and we've seen a lot of subpar performances over there. Like we may as well get into speaking about, obviously, Berrettini, our favourite for the tournament. He got knocked out by Bublik in somewhat, it wasn't really the best fashion, was it? I was a bit disappointed with him. I watched this match and I just thought that Berrettini just sluggish, didn't really look like himself, wasn't really quick around the court. And
well, he sort of followed on from last year. It was a bit like that. However, I don't know. I thought he was playing okay up until this point. I'm not sure what's going wrong for him at the moment. I can't put my finger on it. You'd expect him to be winning that match, but obviously he lost in straight sets.
Yeah, Bublik, who we should give him some credit as well, because he is actually a very, very good player. Yeah. He has a lot of variety in his game, and he is very, very powerful as well. And it didn't look like that Berrettini could hang in the powerful rallies with Bublik. Bublik seemed to be winning a lot of them. And in the second set, it just sort of fell apart, and he was just hitting the bottom of the net with a few of the shots. He looked visibly frustrated, Berrettini, or somewhat like lackadaisical, like he wasn't really that bothered. So I don't know. It's just what it came across like. We're watching.
I know what you mean. Like, he's a big time player now, isn't he? Yeah. It's an ATP 250. Is he a bit like, I'm a bit beyond this? I don't think that's a good attitude to have. He's still a young player. He's won some events, but I still think you need to respect every event in its entirety. That's maybe a bit harsh saying that. It could be that a case he's still carrying a bit of an injury from last year. I just don't want to rip into him too much. So let's just see how it goes. It's the first tournament of the year. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. And let's give all the praise to Bublik, because then he followed it up with another impressive win against Shardy. Yeah. He was the informed man in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, he was indeed. I mean, you see the score there, which was it was a close match, but I thought I had this one on earlier, and I was watching the match, and it was 6-4, obviously the first set, and I thought he was going to cruise it because he was up in the break in the second, and he looked like he was going through, and then he got this sort of injury. I'm not sure what he had, a medical timeout. I think it was whilst he was a break up, and then Chardy just came back into the match, managed to take that second set.
Watch out for Chardy. I think he's going to be. It's weird for him. 2019, yeah, he was so good. I remember we went on that storming run. He come close in against some of the really top players. I think even Djokovic, he didn't beat, but he come very close to beating, and he was getting to some finals and playing really well. 2020, he thought, pandemic, I'll take that year off. I can't really be bothered for that. 2021, it seems like he's back again, and Chardy, he could be one to watch this year.
Well, you never know. There was part of me that thinking towards the end of that match today, starting to look a little bit tired. Maybe the legs were sort of, maybe the age is getting to him a little bit, but never ruled him out. I'm seeing Mary Sky saying, am I planning on changing my background anytime soon? There you go. Change it a little bit, boy.
No, I know what they mean. It's creating everyone to be a bit disorientated.
I know it's a little bit too much. It's a little bit. It was good. I was hoping we'd both have the same ones, but then you didn't have the background for the past two, did you? So never mind.
No, it's a bit too much for me, Ben. I need to go for something a bit more simple. I've got a nice tennis court. It sort of blends in with the blue in the other background. I don't know. I'm not sure if the fans are liking it too much.
A bit more like tiger print or something. This one, isn't it? I don't know what's going on with it. But I'll get back to some actual nicer tennis backgrounds again. I was trying to kind of keep it all matching for you guys with the backgrounds that have been created. I was trying to create a few of my own. But anyway, get straying away from the tennis. We had a great match there. Obviously, Bublik went through. Chardy, tough luck, but hopefully he'll come again strong in the next tournament. But we go down to the other side.
Yeah, quickly, Ben, just before we talk on to the other side, Nats, they're saying it's insane that Struff still doesn't have a title. Yeah. This was a good chance for Struff, do you not think? He had a walkover. He got through the first round. I forget who he beat now. It wasn't a world beater. Who was it?
He beat
Kotov, a qualifier. Like I say, you'd expect him to be able to beat that. He then got quite fortunate with a walkover.
Yeah.
Then he's playing a Chardy who's getting on now. Obviously, with 2020, had a terrible year. He looks like he's playing really good now. But it's still it seems to be the final sort of hurdle he's struggling to get across. He kind of reminds me a bit of a Karolina Pliskova on the women's tour.
Yeah, he's got third round syndrome, I think. He's so used to going out in the third round to Djokovic, and it's just whoever he comes up against now. He's come up against Chardy, and that third round, he's gone again. So hopefully he can get into past the third round at some point this year. We don't want to be seeing that. That can't be his career, just missed the third round.
Well, he's a good player. He's a brilliant player, early stages. Gets to the deep end of a tournament, and he just, I don't know, forgets how to play tennis, it seems. But I think that's harsh. Maybe, I don't think he's too old. I think he's got some time to sort of grow with experience, and I think he has the potential to win a title. So, let's just see what happens. I'll let you move down now. But while you do that, Nikita there in the comments saying, talk about WTA. We will be talking about that. We're going to start off with Antalya. We'll then do the WTA stuff, and then Delray Beach, obviously, for the evening session. And we'll also be doing the live watch-along of the final. If you want to join us for that, it's for us in the UK, it's 8 a.m. UK time. Just check whatever time where you're watching it's going to be. But it'd be great if as many of you can join us for that, so we're not here sipping our cups of teas early in the morning, just me and Ben.
I might crack open a beer just to get the energy going.
You can't have a beer at 8 a.m.
I might do, mate. I might do. It's always 12 o'clock somewhere. Don't just remember. So if we go down to the other half of the draw, this was one that we were sort of speaking about last time. Basilashvili had won his first 2 games in a very long time. Didn't actually start too bad against de Minaur, and I actually thought he was playing quite well in the first set, but de Minaur's just level above these days, I think. And you saw the unforced errors started coming from Basilashvili, and as soon as that started, he just had to get the one break. As soon as the break, I just thought there's just no way back into the set for him. And same in the second set. So there you go. De Minaur went through. Yeah, your man Travaglia.
Well, this is actually my bracket, isn't there? So I did all right on the bottom side. There's a bit of green, to be fair.
This isn't.
Oh, this is not my one. This is your one, isn't it?
This is who's leading the bracket.
I was going to say, but I think mine's the same though for the bottom, right? Is it not? Oh no, maybe I had Rustavori. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit too good to be true.
So Travaglia, yeah. So Travaglia obviously went out to Goffin, and yeah, Goffin 6-3, 6-2. Very impressive. That's what we expect from him, though. Should have gone through that.
Yeah,
And then,
another man who's back, mate. Goffin 2020 was looking very bad. More so post-pandemic, so like March onwards. But the first few months he seemed okay. It really did affect him a lot more than other players. However, this year it was quite reassuring to see that he was playing some good tennis. Obviously, beating Travaglia, that's no easy feat. And he's been playing quite well from what I've seen. But I don't know. I feel like I agree with a lot of people in the comments actually, and that is something a bit surprising. And they're saying about how the women's has probably been the most exciting thing. I think Mary here summed it up, saying the men's been a bit disappointing, except Corda. We'll get on to that afterwards. The women are firing. I actually agree. I think the men have started a bit slowly in both tournaments, specifically Antalya, to be honest. I think all the players seem to be, I'm not sure whether it's the conditions, the surface, what's going on there. It just seems like every player seems a bit slow. So it's not the greatest. It's not been the greatest spectacle, as per se.
I'll give the credit to the people in the chat, to be honest, because they were all singing Alex de Minaur's praises and saying how he was going to win the tournament. He looks like the best player in the tournament. I'm not going to lie. He took out Goffin earlier today, where even in the face of adversity in the second set, came through strong in the third. Really, really a good performance. And now he's set up with a final against Bublik, who you'd expect him to beat, really. I mean,
well, shall we give our final preview now? So obviously the finalist is going to be Alex de Minaur versus Bublik.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see what happens. I think personally, I'll give my take on it. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as what you're saying it will. I think it will go to the 3 sets, to be honest. I think Bublik could take the first. He could come out quite strong to start off with and then fade away, and Alex de Minaur grows into the match. For me, I think Bublik is his serve. He's got a very good serve, and he's been serving well this whole tournament. I'm not sure what his first serve percentages have been throughout the tournament, but they must be quite high because he's playing well for me. So I think it's going to be a tough battle, but I think Alex de Minaur does have too much quality, and I would like to see him play. I'd much prefer watching ADM than, I'd say, a Bublik type player.
Yeah, definitely. I just love watching ADM on the court. I love how quick he is around the court, and just he brings that youthful exuberance to tennis that we need on the scene right now. There's a lot of obviously people with aches, pains, that type of thing. He doesn't seem to show any signs of it. He just shows the signs of a person who's going to keep rising through the ranks. He's obviously still still 21, I believe. Yeah. So just the sky's the limit. Hopefully he's going to be one of these players that takes advantage of all of these other players, maybe starting slowly. Something interesting, obviously, from today with Bublik and Chardy was his serve going well with 15 aces, Bublik, but he did serve 11 double faults, which sort of negates the whole ace count, really.
Well, on the topic of his serve, the big one is: are we going to see an underarm serve for the final? I reckon he's saving a few. He's got a few in the tank, but I think against an ADM type player, probably the worst thing to do. Yeah,
well, I don't think he does it against the rapid people so much. I noticed he does it against the people who are a bit more sluggish around the court. Some of the bigger guys, I think it would be tough to catch Alex de Minaur out. He's got a pretty good 100-meter sprint time, I'm sure. So
talking about Bublik, they're saying, has Bublik actually won a title yet? No, he hasn't, as far as I know. I don't think he has won a title.
No, I don't believe so.
You'd expect him, like, again, a bit like a Struff type player. He's got all the game too, so we'll see what this year has in store. This probably was a good opportunity, obviously, in the semi-final. This is a good opportunity in a final now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Bublik's only had success on the Challenger Tour. He has 6 Challenger titles to his name. Last one back in April 2019. So, yet to win a title since then.
Yeah, and that's saying there also that he's got to 2 finals previously. So he has been in 2 finals in 2019. This is another one in 2021, right at the start. Let's see how he gets on against, obviously, an incredible young player, Alex de Minaur. I'm going to go with Alex de Minaur in 3. What about yourself?
I'm going to go Alex de Minaur in 2. I think, well, the players that he's lost to in previous finals, though, John Isner and Carreño Busta, that was obviously in 2019. Yeah, I mean, both of them were quite close matches, though. He got to all the way like a 3-set match with Carreño Busta. That's really like impressive, really, and 2 tie breaks in that match. So I think this one, he's going to fancy his chances. I'm sure this is it's up for the taking. It's first match, and anyone's to take it. Really, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's got to fancy himself for. He beat Berrettini. Come on, have that in the back of your mind. You've not beat. I mean, might not be the best Berrettini, but you still beat Berrettini.
Sure.
So keep that as your confidence going forwards. I would, and Chardy as well. He's not bad. Come on, he's not no schmuck, is he? So yeah, I think. Should we have a look through the actual leaderboard?
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
This is actually the person who's leading the bracket at the moment. So I just jumped into Bunk.
Yeah, let us know if it's you, because I know some people have different code names on the Draw Challenge to make it even more difficult for us. So let us know if it is you and you're in the chat right now. But currently, is it working?
Well, I'll go back to this one. So you go. Oh, I'll zoom in a little bit for you.
There we go. So currently we have Bunk Hoots as number 1. We've got Gabriele also we've got 3 people joint number 1.
Yeah.
Bunk Hoots, Gabriele, and Mikey Matter. We've got Jax there just in the silver position. Well, it's actually 4th, isn't it? To be fair. Trying to pick you up a bit too much. No medal for you. Harry Carrillo's there, Kyle, a bit of Danny Tennis. I don't even want to keep going. Where am I? Gosh. What a disaster.
There's Melez.
Almino. There I am.
JG, what's happening, mate?
So it's not been a stellar performance for myself, that's for sure.
Been a tough one to pick, though. I'm surprised. Well done to the people who actually made those great selections that they have done to be up there, because this hasn't been an easy one to pick. Only ADM, really. That's been the one that's sort of the dead cert to get to the final. That's what we both had, didn't we? Well, my brackets, exactly. my brackets defaulted and null and void. So let's not go into that.
Mate, I'm not even giving you a null and void. I'm giving you an L. You get a straight loss for it.
So sad about it, to be honest. Not a good way. Still not a good start to the year.
So out of the top 3, let's see who they've got to win. Who's got the best chance of actually winning tomorrow?
Yeah, let's have a quick look at that.
Because we've also made little Google Sheets. Wasn't that professionally done because I did it myself, and it will have the GTL fan of every tournament. So we're going to be tracking the winner of every single tournament on both the ATP and WTA side. We'll also be tracking who wins out of me and Ben on each one. So it's a fun little thing, and we will be announcing the winner at the end of the season to win a prize. We've not worked out what the prize is going to be, but we're going to do a nice, good prize for the winner. So it's in your best interest as well as possible in these brackets.
Yeah, for sure. So we got
the first one we have is Alex de Minaur.
Yeah,
that's for Bunk Hoots. Gabriella's got
out of it.
Completely out.
Yeah, no chance, unfortunately, for Gabrielle there. And then we got Mikey Matter.
I'll be surprised if anyone's got Bublik there.
Yeah, well, we've got a Bublik de Minaur final there, that's so impressive to even pick that. To be honest.
Minaur, yeah, fair play on that one.
And then Jax, let's have a look what Jax has got. What have you got? And Jax saying, who are these leading 3 clowns? Yeah, and we got de Minaur there from Jax. So Jax, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to win it. But
so it's going to be out of, what was the 2 names? Sorry,
it's going to be out of Mikey Matter and Bunk. I think and Bunk Hoots. They can only draw level by the looks of it. That's the only the level at the moment. So
I guess it will go down to the
down to the predictor
and the set and stuff. So anyway, we'll see how there's. Good luck to whoever they are. If they're in the chat right now, if they're watching the video late, good luck. We will be announcing the winner obviously afterwards, and we'll be updating our spreadsheet.
Yeah,
and I can confirm that I won out of me and Ben because he got defaulted. So this one done.
Not having that. It's just terrible, isn't it? I'm just not happy.
On to the women.
Yes, let's move over to WTA. I'll have to
because we're having a lot of questions about the women. So find the formula there saying, do you give Kudermetova a chance? Feels like she has to serve impeccably to have a chance. You'd have to agree. For me, the real in-form lady is Sabalenka. she is the one to beat. Obviously, winning 2 tournaments in a row prior. I think her winning streak's 12 matches now. She's not dropped many sets in them 12 matches, and she's just playing phenomenal tennis. So powerful, and no one can match her for power right now. But I'm jumping the gun a bit. We'll give our verdict on that in a minute. Let's go through some of the earlier matches. I think Ben's got it up there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to go through the person who's top of the leaderboard. We got Big Al and his big green bracket, a lot of it.
Nice.
So, yeah, so we'll go through Big Al's and just see what's been going on. Obviously, we were talking about Kenin Sakari on the last one, and well, I've made a bit of a blooper, and Kenin lost to Sakari. Sakari was looking so good this tournament. She's been that sort of transformation from last year, which she's sort of been carrying that form on. She looked really good against Kenin, and well justified of her place in the semi-final. But she was up against none other than Arina Sabalenka. And what can you say about Sabalenka right now? I mean,
I don't know. I'm kind of running out of things to say. So them two, they've played each other like 3 times, I believe, recently. All in what's the place where they are now?
What, in Dubai?
Yeah, but that sort of what's that area?
Abu Dhabi.
What's the terminology for it? I forget the word. It doesn't matter. But basically, that scope of the world in all over there, the Middle East.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's played 3 times recently, 2 of which in 2020, and it's no shock really in saying that Sabalenka's won on all 3 occasions, and also quite convincingly. So it just shows the stock what Sabalenka's been playing at. It is truly incredible, and she just looks so good. And I just feel like a complete idiot. I'll be honest. Like, how can you not have Sabalenka going all the way in the final in this tournament, if not potentially winning? I feel like that was just a no-brainer. And I tried to be a bit too out there and alternative to avoid that combination, because it just doesn't ring true thinking about it right now.
Well, for me, I had her as my winner of the tournament. Simply because of her form from the back end of last year, and the way that she dispatched Azarenka to win the tournament. I'm not sure which one it was, but Ostrava, I believe. And she won in the final there after being beaten by her convincingly.
And inform Azarenka as well,
Yeah, she was beaten by her convincingly in the US Open. She totally turned the tables on. And now she looks like an absolute world beater. The power that she was showing against Maria Sakkari. And Sakkari is a powerful player as well. And she took it and doubled it and sent it back. And her serve was so many aces she was firing down. She's looking unstoppable at the moment, Sabalenka, and I think it's going to be a real tough day at the office for Kudermetova in the final. That's my personal opinion. I can't see Sabalenka losing.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate, completely. I don't see her losing this. Let's talk about the other side, because I feel like we've got to give that justice as well. There was 2 players you probably wouldn't have anticipated to be in the semi-finals on the other side, and they were. Have you got it there? I can't see. Kudermetova and Kostyuk. Both players, if you're being entirely honest, I'd be surprised if anyone had that semi-final combination. If not both of them. I'm talking about either of them. I think Brady was the big one. You had Pliskova there. Obviously, Donovecic. There's a lot of seeds here who went out early doors. Kontovic, Svitolina as well. I think Mertens was supposed to be down there as well. I know she dropped out prior. But to have them two doing and playing so well, I think it's just a credit to them both. And watching the men's, you can really see that the level in the women's right now seems to be a lot higher at the beginning of the season. And some of these matches have been phenomenal. I would like to give a special shout out to that Kostyuk lady. Yeah. I know you was bigging her up earlier on in the tournament, and I wasn't really too sure who she was. I know I think I'd seen a few clips here and there, but you was quite keen on the fact that she's a really good player, and I completely vow for it, because this tournament, for me, she has been a breath of fresh air in it.
Yeah, I mean, she's a very young player as well, and just from what I saw from her from last year, she's just full of promise. And with the way she dispatched, who was it she was playing? She was playing Zidansek, where she beat her 6-1, 6-1, which was with ease. And then the match against Sorribes.
Zidansek was someone who knocked out some good players prior, right?
Yeah, as well. Zidansek knocked out Leila Fernandez, who thought was going to be.
And then in the round before, she knocked out
Jem Brady.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this is the Zidansek she beat. The Zidansek who knocked out two of the top players in the draw, in theory.
Yeah, And this Kostyuk against Sorribes Tormo, she just she looked great, and she even when she went on the back foot as well, she really turned out. See the here, look, this is the scoreline here. She lost the first set 6-love, and I thought, oh my god, I've just tipped this girl. Just typical GTL curse, isn't it? Just said that she's the one to watch, and now she's just lost 6-love. But then I watched her come back, and literally it was a different player. And this is the sort of stock she's made from. And Sorribes Tormo was having a great tournament, and she looked really good as well. But
she did.
Kostyuk, she just has like another gear that she goes into. She's very gritty player, and she just goes for a lot of stuff. She was going for much more than Sorribes Tormo. Her backhand, like a sort of inside-out backhand, really flat. She was hitting down the line a lot. She was really just trying to finish points early, and that's what got her the win there. She really changed it up in the second set, and it was a bit more of a fight in the third. But yeah, really great performance from her, and really close match against Kudermetova as well.
No, let's talk about her, because that was an epic match. I know Mary there in the chat saying Veronica's such a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was
Jackie's a big fan as well. Kudermetova's one to watch, and she's getting a lot of people singing her praise, and rightly so, because she's a top player. I was looking at her form even before this tournament, recently, and some of the matches she lost, they were in close third sets. I think at Mertens, maybe in Azarenka, there was like some top informed players who beat her, and it was in 3 sets. So maybe she's sort of been going under the radar. She's not one of them players who is doing well. Been a bit unlucky in a few matches, so you don't really see her in the latter stages of tournaments, but still has a good game and been playing well. I think she is someone a bit like that. So
she's won 12 of her last 14 matches, so that just goes to show the form that she's in. All on hard court as well. She's only lost to Jen Brady and Elise Mertens. Yeah. So you're right.
Not Azarenka, it was them two.
Yeah, 2 very, very good players though. 2 players at the back end of last year who are super consistent. So yeah, she is going to be one of these players. I think they have to keep an eye on her, because she's not like as young as some of the others, but she's only 23. So she's still a lot of growth there in her. And she showed a lot of grit and determination against Kostyuk today, even though it was a bit of a back and forth match. It seemed that neither player wanted to win it. There's a lot of breaks of serve. And I think when she managed to grind out that first set, she took a lead early. I think it was she was up a break early in the second, and then Kostyuk came back, and then she still managed to grind it out. And at the end of that, she just has very, very, I don't want to keep saying that these have a lot of grit and determination, but she was showing the similar thing to Kostyuk. Kostyuk tries to shorten the points. She tries to.
She's a mentally really strong player, I feel. And that's why I think she can go far, because on the women's tour, you can see often that some sets can be very much 50-50 in terms of like 1 minute, one player's playing brilliant, the next minute, another player's playing brilliant. With that strong mental side of her game, it'll enable her to sort of put the odds in her favour and be a bit more consistent, I feel, throughout the match rather than just in spells. So, yeah, it certainly bodes well for her in the final. And I think that leads on nicely just to give our final roundup of the big final, which will be Sabalenka versus Kudermetova. And I don't know if you knew this, Ben, the stakes are super high. Thanks for this, Nat. It's really, really useful sending this in. And he's saying if Kudermetova wins, she will be seeded at the Australian Open. And if Sabalenka wins, she rises to a career high ranking of number 7, which is a good seed to have at the Australian Open. Obviously, number 7 means you will, in theory, get a more favourable draw. So it's going to be the stakes are super high for both players, which adds an element of pressure to the match. But I think that's what it needs. I want to start. I don't want to have that early season feeling where players are warming up and it doesn't really have too much of a meaning to it. This means a lot. And I think that could make it more of a 50-50 than what I would have thought it would be. Because if I was being completely honest and frank, I see nothing other than a straight sets Sabalenka win.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it once already. I'm probably going to repeat myself. I find it hard to go against her. Despite these are probably the 2 best hard court form players on the women's tour going in the final against each other. So I think this is the right final, really, at the end of all of this.
I agree, yeah. And, I think it's a good final to have.
And the fact that they've never played each other before makes it even more interesting. So,
and the fact that there's so much at stake as well. Obviously, both players are going to be desperate to take this trophy. We've also got a regular back in the chat. Here we have Ken Lee. His work kept me. It's a bit late.
It's not another haircut, was it? I'm just reading here. Sorry, I know that they've not met on in the like sort of main draw type before. But apparently, they've played once in ITF, but I don't think we can count this 6 years ago. And Sabalenka won that one, but I don't think that's gonna change anything here. I'm gonna go with Sabalenka is gonna be. I've got her in my bracket from the start, so I'm sticking with it. Sabalenka to win it, and I think she does it convincingly again. I think she does it straight sets.
Gosh, that's crazy. I think only because there's so much at stake, Kudermetovan's going to have to. She's going to bring that extra gear. She's so mentally stable. That's why I'm going to go for a Sabalenka win, but in 3 sets. So both of my finals so far, I've got to go in 3 sets. So
yeah, you just want
the perfect finals.
You just want that extra long watch along. That's all you want. I can see
I don't know, mate. I've got work.
I
can't do too long.
Well, anyway,
but yeah. Let's have a little look at the leaderboard and see how that's getting on.
Yeah.
James. Oh, not sure where Ben's gone there. That's weird. Well, we'll just give him a moment. I'm sure he'll join back any second. Oh, here he is. Where'd you go?
I just went to skip pages and I just left the stream. Sorry about that. Apologies.
I was just talking. You all left. I reckon that would be quite funny if you just clip me out afterwards. Like,
I just tried to move my mouse onto the other screen, and it just on the Mac it does like if you do like a double finger sweep. It
I know. Yeah,
it does a back. Yeah, so unfortunately, apologies for that. I just dipped out for a sec. So
no worries. Just quickly while you're getting all the screens back up, I'll go through some of the chat here. Mary Sky saying, "Oh, I'm so pumped about this final." Well, hopefully you can join us for the live watch along tomorrow, early in the morning. We're going to be both very tired but very enthusiastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Thomas Rock there. Cheers for the super chat, mate. Obviously, he's number 1 right now in the top tippers. We updated them. He's only just securing that position. Mr. Rock with his new tennis racket as well. We'll have to put a picture up when we get one on here. We'll have to share it. It's a nice racket he's got.
Yeah, definitely is. Really great one. Now I can't wait to see it in action. Really, maybe
That's what I said. I want to see some aces thundering down with it.
Yeah, for
John
sure.
Isner stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Right, let's have a quick look. Sorry, the screen share thing's gone now. Right, here we go. Let's get this in. We can have a look at how we're doing in this one. Oh, I'll bring the numbers up so you can see.
Yeah, Davor, we'll go on to the Delray Beach after this one. So this is the final one. If you want to wind back to the beginning of the video, we did Antalya. Now we're doing the WTA, and then we're going to finish off with Delray Beach. And there's some big news over in Delray because we've got our first finalist, Ben.
We got our second finalist, didn't we? Or was it the first one?
First one. We got James saying Herkas into the final. So
That's
he
correct.
won.
And then the next one.
That's good. And then we're going to have the winner of Norrie versus Korda. But we'll get onto that in a minute. Just updating you guys. Herkas now is into the final.
So Big Al leading the way here on the WTA. We got Team Groves, and look at Jax is up there again. Look at her go. She's flying on these first ones.
And also Thomas Rock as well. Harry Carrillo right there in the wings.
Wow, look at these guys.
Mary Sky there in the chat. A few of the chat people are there.
Yeah, look
Betty Swallocks, there she is.
I'm there. Yeah, look at that. 10th, mate. I'm sort of up there.
Yeah, Ben's not doing too bad. I don't think you can move up any more than that, though, is it? That's him. He's fixed mid-table.
I think Big Al's got it, unless we see Kudermetova win, and then we might see somebody else take that top spot.
So let's see how it would work. So Big Al has, who does he have to win?
Yes, we just went through Big Al's, and it was Sabalenka.
Okay, so he's got Sabalenka. So if Sabalenka wins, he's now on champion.
Yeah.
If Team Groves has got
Sabalenka as well, I think it's going to be tough.
Groves can't win. Do we have anyone who's got Kudermetova?
Sabalenka for Jax.
It looks like to me we can probably already announce the winner there, and it looks like for me that Big Al is the champion, unless there is a Kudermetova anywhere, which we don't know.
Harry Carrillo, have we got Sabalenka? Of course we have. We can't go through all of
Let us know in
these.
the chat if anyone's got a Kudermetova, you're in for a shot of winning. But if not, I'm going to assume everyone's probably got Sabalenka, and in that case, if that is the case, Big Al wins. Big Al will be the GTL winner for this tournament. And out of me and Ben, the winner is going to be Ben. So Ben cleaned me on this one, and he is the expert so far on the WTA side.
Which makes a change because that doesn't normally happen, does it?
No, you do all right, mate. You do all right on the WTA stuff.
Yeah,
But
indeed.
anyway, let's go on to the final one, which is sunny Delray Beach.
Ooh,
It's the evening
Delray.
session. It's the one we don't know the secure final yet because we've got an exciting match. And for me, if I had to rank the 3 tournaments right now, I'd have the WTA as the best quality of tennis, and then Delray. I think Antalya's been the bottom tier tennis for me, which I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah.
But Delray has been super exciting. I'm going to give a quick shout out straight away to my boy Korda, already beating John Isner, and I called that one as well. I'm so happy with that. I know Ken as well was over the moon, and he's saying Korda for the championship. And
Wow.
mate, could he do it? Could he do it? But I'm jumping the gun as I always do. Let's go through some of the previous results.
Here's yours. I've got your bracket up this time, JG. We can have a little look through of some of your handiwork here down the bottom of the bracket.
Yeah, I'm glad you're starting at the bottom because the top's not very pretty sight.
That's why I did it. Yeah, so we got Korda there. So should we just who do you want to speak about first? I know they obviously beat Tommy Paul, but this John Isner match, I obviously gave John Isner the my heads up to go through that because I thought the big serve was going to be too much.
Yep.
Korda, no trouble for him, was it?
Well, I'll talk about it, but if you don't mind, do you mind getting up some of the statistics from that match? I think that's a really important thing to do. But what I can say from my assumption and my summary of it was that Korda was able to neutralise the John Isner serve. And John Isner's serve was not popping like it usually was, all due to the masterclass, I would call it, in returning. Korda literally gave out a masterclass of returning John Isner's serve, and it was just beautiful to see. He was just so solid and so brilliant. Obviously, in the round before beating Tommy Paul, some of them shots were just exquisite.
Yeah,
following it up with Isner was just so good.
I'll see if I can bring this up for you, mate, and then everyone can have a little look at some of these stats. So I'll put that one away, and then Korda Isner. Let's bring that up so that everyone can have a look at that. Right. Yeah. So as you can see there, bring that down a bit. Is that too small for you? All right.
Kind of, mate, but you go through it. You read it. I trust your numbers.
All right. Yeah, so as you can see there, it's a bit crazy double faults, though, isn't it? There's been a lot of double faults in these first tournaments back. I'm not that surprising, I have to say, but the first serve percentage points won from Korda there. And you look at that, the difference between him and Big John, 82% to 65% for John Isner, which... that's a bit.
And not just that, also just leaving John Isner only 13 aces in the match is actually really good. You'd think most players that's not very good, but John Isner playing him only leaving him with 13 over 3 sets is actually really impressive. Yeah,
exactly. Do you have a look down there? Any other statistics? I mean, he's sort of leading on all the stats, isn't he? Second serve.
Look at the return stats. The return stats are crazy.
Return
numbers there.
Yeah,
return.
Return stats 35%, 21 out of 60 against 18%. Look at that. And John Isner not having any luck against the Korda serve there. The first serves or the second, really. 28%. No. Really not that great, and only converted 1 of 6 break points. So not really the best day at the office for John Isner, and he would be expected to win that match as well. So,
well, I think the even bigger thing for John is that he's not going to the Australian Open now. He's unhappy about the whole fact that you're not allowed to bring your family there. I know Roger Federer feels similarly about it. He's not going due to the injury problem, but I think it's not just that. I heard also another report coming out saying he would never go without his family anyway. Which is kind of fair enough. I know Roger goes everywhere with his family. John Isner, he's using that as an excuse, but is it really that, or is it all the whole fact, the regulation, all the mask wearing, all the other stuff that goes with it? Does he want to comply to that? Because he's already been quite vocal on Twitter about his attitude towards it all. Yeah. And I think we're going to get onto some of that probably at the top of the bracket, because there's another player who shares some of the similar views, and that's I don't want to start with a negative with him, but I feel like if I get to talk about the negative and get it out of the way, it's probably the best thing to do. So we've got there a bit of a shock, really, but Christian Harrison, the 700th in the world guy. I'll be entirely honest, didn't know much about him at all. until I knew his brother. I think his brother's a bit higher ranked. Didn't know much about him at all before this tournament. He's gone and beat Garin. He's then gone and beat Mega. And then after that, it was who did he beat after that?
What's that? He's beat Mega. He hasn't. He's up against Hercash.
No, then he lost. Then he lost to Hercash. But he had a good run in the tournament. But this whole thing of not doing he refused to do the interview after the second round because he was told to wear a mask, and then he got fined for not doing it. Just wear a mask. Honestly, it's so stupid. I understand what his reasoning was. The fact that he's not going to give off COVID if there's just one person standing miles away, no one really around him.
Yeah.
But it's the whole fact that you're a role model as a tennis player. And there's loads of people who will be watching it. So people will look up to a tennis player on the TV, especially tennis fans across the world, younger people, or even anyone, to be honest. So just do the right thing. And if it's the rules, just follow them. What's your big problem with wearing a mask? I feel like he's just an anti-masker. I think he's trying to cover it up a little bit. And for me, as a person, I'm not a big fan of him. But his tennis, you've got to applaud because he's been playing phenomenally well this tournament. And I did not expect him to go all the way to the semi-final or quarter-final?
Quarter-finals. No, it was semi-finals, wasn't it?
Semis.
Yeah, semi-finals. Apologies. Yeah. To get to the semi-finals, but being 789th in the world and coming up against somebody who's what's Hercash, top 20?
Mate, just wear a mask, though. What is all this nonsense? I've had enough of it. It's so stupid. You see a lot of people in America just doing all these things. Not even in America. It's all over the world. You get these anti-mask wearers. Just wear a mask.
It's probably an anti-vaxxer as well. You never know. I just don't understand anything. I mean, it's crazy enough what's going on in the UK, and then I see what's going on in America, and it's even more crazy. So I think that everyone's struggling to get a lid on it or put a lid on it, and it's not helping matters. Everybody just comply. Hopefully we can get over it. So
exactly.
We want to get back to tournaments. But we had somebody in the
So anyway, he went out, and I'm actually kind of pleased he went out because it's really put a sour taste in my mouth for him now. I view him in a bad way already, and I just don't want to because his tennis has been all right, and he's doing well in the doubles as well. Him and his brother, I think they're in the final, maybe.
Yeah, they're doing very well. Putting a sour taste in your mouth, similar to when Sebastian Korda got an autograph off Rafael Nadal, if I remember rightly, and his career was over after that match.
I didn't say that, man. I never said that. I just didn't like that either. I thought it was a bit too much. Just my opinion on it. I love Korda as a player. I think he's phenomenal. Being a fanboy over that, I think it's just a bit cringe. You're a tennis player. You're a fellow professional. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the positive of Korda because he is just next level, and it's going to set up a really interesting one. We'll touch on Manarino there. He obviously lost to Cam Norrie. And did we miss a big trick here? Cam Norrie grew up playing college tennis. Was really good in college tennis, so he's used to the conditions. He's kind of like a homegrown player in a way. I know he's British, but he's played over in America for so many years, and that's where he sort of built his career. So this tournament, in theory, is perfect for him. I remember last year he come very close. I think it was maybe a semi-final appearance as well. Yeah. I think it was Nishioka or someone knocked him out. So he did very well last year as well here. And why did we not anticipate Cam Norrie to do a lot better? But maybe that's just hindsight. I thought Manarino had too much for him, but wasn't to be. Cam Norrie then followed up with a bagel against your man, TFO.
I know. I thought TFO was going to go all the way in this tournament. Wrote off Cam Norrie a little bit. I didn't expect him. He sometimes turns up, sometimes doesn't. You don't know which Cam Norrie is going to show up. And maybe he's just done something good in the off season. He's been just training pretty hard, and he's come back, hit the ground running. Looks really good. I think it's going to be a real close match against Sebastian Korda, to be honest. I think it could go to 3 sets again.
Well, that is the other spot in the final up for grabs. Obviously, the one we don't know. I'm not sure when it's starting. I think probably anytime soon.
Tomorrow morning, I think.
Maybe tomorrow in a few hours' time.
1 a.m.
We've got Ken in the chat saying Korda is 20 years old. So he's super young, just as a reminder. What do you see that one going to? It's going to be like, I know you said it was close, but who do you see winning and joining? Who's the other finalist? Name's gone.
What's that? Who's the other finalist? It's oh my god, Hercash. She's just gone through.
Yeah, and joining Hercash in the final. Who do you see doing that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's really tough. I just don't. It's really tough on both respects because I don't want to write off Cam Norrie again and then him prove me wrong again. And he's British as well. But then again, Sebastian Korda just beat John Isner. It's a real toss-up for me, this one. I think it's going to go to 3. I think we could see a fast start from Cam Norrie again. I reckon Korda takes the second set. And then the third set, I think we're going to go all the way. I think Korda just grabs it. I reckon he grabs a break just at the end of the third set and then takes it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, but it's more, I'm kind of really getting wrapped up in this Korda love. I might have been a bit harsh for him back in that Rafa thing, but I am really warming to his style of play because he's really exciting to watch. 20 years old, he can do it on clay as well. We've seen him in the French Open.
Yes.
He's definitely one to watch for the future, and he's, for me, one of the most exciting young American tennis players. I know there's a whole host of players, but for me, he's the most exciting for sure. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Let's say for the final, who do you see winning? And I actually don't think it's going to be Hurkacz, as well as he's done so far. Obviously, winning again today and reaching the final. I think whoever wins out of Norrie or Korda will beat Hurkacz in the final.
Yeah,
it'll be crazy.
There's part of me that doesn't want Hurkacz to win the final. I sort of want the winner to come from the bottom half.
Maybe it's more that than anything because Hurkacz has been playing brilliant. I know we've got Lin Jiang there in the chat saying Hurkacz will win Delray Beach.
Yeah, well, he's going to be the favourite, that's for sure. He hasn't had. I mean, if you really like, let's just go back and look through his draw. He had a bye. He had Galan Riveros. He had Robert Quiros, and he's had Chris Harrison. So if you look at that run to the final, it couldn't really get better for you.
On paper, he's had a really easy draw. You'd have to agree with that.
Well, look at this. Like Galan Riveros, I think he's 140 in the world. I think you've got Quiros is probably 200 or something, or in 100 to 200, and then you've got 789th in the world.
Yeah.
So you've got Challenger or ITF really tournament all the way up until the final, really. So
yeah, no, I agreed, mate, and that's why I'm not sure if he's going to be at the same level as, say, a Korda or a Norrie, who's played the likes of a TFO and a John Isner, who's already had that warm up and practice, and they've already got a bit of momentum, I feel, going into the final, and that's why either of them, whoever gets through, will, I think, be the eventual champion. And if you want to join us for that, we will be doing a live watch along. It's going to be later on in the evening, probably a bit earlier than what it is now. I think it'll be about 8 o'clock in the UK. So like 4 hours before what it is now tomorrow. But just check wherever you are watching and what time it's going to be on. We're definitely going to be aiming to do a live watch along for Delray Beach final. And I'm hoping for a Korda Hurkacz final and Korda to beat him in 3 sets. All of mine are 3 sets. I didn't realise. But yeah.
You're going for extra long matches all the time. But we'll just see if he can follow in his father's footsteps as well, Korda. That would be a real interesting thing. His father had 10 titles. Petra Korda, I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation, obviously is an Australian Open champion, French Open finalist. Would be great if he could kickstart his career this early at the age of 20 and get his first ATP title. And you might see a big year from him if he manages to get one under his belt this early.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Agreed, mate. Korda's, he's just phenomenal. And then we'll see how he gets on. What did I see here? Nat was saying, based on rankings, he would win, but Korda has been beating people way above his level. And based off that, I'm hoping he has that extra gear and is able to go all the way. I think Lin Jiang's there asking, can you do Delray Beach Open final? Yes, we are going to try our best to do that.
Yeah, we'll be doing that one. We'll be doing the WTA final in Abu Dhabi in the morning. Probably have to go straight to bed after this, I think. And then, we'll be doing the other one in the evening. We'll have a long gap where I'll probably just be doing some decorating and painting and stuff. and
I'll be working.
Yeah, I took the day off for the matches, and there's only a match in the morning and the evening. But it's all right. I've got lots to do at home, so it's fine. Get a lick of paint on those walls. Right, let's just have a look who's winning the bracket over in Delray Beach. As you can see here, we've got Julian Arge, 2006 there at the top. Interesting. We've got a solid number one competitor on this one.
Yeah, doing very well. It looks like for me, well, we'd have to see who he's got. So who's Julian got?
Yeah, let's have a quick look. So we got Herkaj to win and Herkaj Nori final as well. Wow,
Gosh.
what cool that is.
Amazing. So if Herkaj wins, it'll be fair to say that he is the champion of the bracket, and rightfully so, because he predicted the final and the eventual winner.
Yeah, that's if Nori goes through. But yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. He predicted a potential final.
You've written quarter off already. Yeah, DJJ had TFO the same as me. Yeah,
that's Davor, isn't it? Davor Jovic, if you're still listening. He had TFO, so he cannot win.
We've got Melez up here. Melez is flying high.
Shaddai, you skipped Shaddai.
The same. We've got Shaddai and Melez. Let's have a look at both of them. Isner to win for Shaddai. That's not happening, obviously. Yeah. And then we'll have a quick look at Melez. Query. Oh, well, we had Corda though. He had Corda in the final, so there's still potential there to get a few more points there. But if Herkaj wins the whole thing, we know who's going to win.
Yeah.
That's going to be Julian Arge, potentially.
So really, Julian's the main guy in it. There's probably a few below. I don't know if you get how many points. Could Mary potentially win, so? It's hard to see, but it looks like for me, Julian has a really good chance of winning. He just needs Hubert Herkaz, and he is there. Yeah,
and there you go. JG there in 10th. It's level with Mikey Matter and Lynn Sucks. And I don't, mate.
Gosh.
20.
I bet you wish this one didn't get saved.
Yeah, only the WTA I'm entering next time. Let's hope it who's down the bottom.
Oh, there's Big Al. Big Al's not so good on this one.
Oh,
winner on the other.
And Jack's taken a tumble. She's just put all of her focus into the other brackets by the looks of it, because she's flying high in the other ones. And who's at the bottom? None other than...
I obviously know my tennis.
Let's have a look.
Bunkhoots as well. What's Bunkhoots doing?
Yeah, he's at the top of the other one. Let's have a look at Noah Rubin to win. Oh, wow, there's a lot of red in there. Had Ryan Harrison to be doing the business rather than his brother by the looks of it.
Picked the wrong Harrison.
JC Aragon to make it a JC Aragon Noah Rubin final. Well, that's a very far-fetched, I have to say, with all the people that were in this tournament. Yeah, well, I'm not going to spend too long on that one. Anyway, let's. Did you want to go through? I know that you set up this new little bits and bobs for.
Yeah, go for it now, mate. We'll do that, and then we'll wrap it up. I think we've been speaking almost an hour. We've got to get to sleep because we've got an early one tomorrow morning doing the WTA final. I'm just hoping I wake up in time.
Yeah, you've been using your Excel skills, I hear.
Yeah, well, don't look at the Excel. It's pretty terrible. But it'll do for now. We'll make it better with time.
That's it.
So here we are. This is the 2021 ATP season. We've got the WTA on the other tab. So these are the tournaments we've had so far. And the Antalya Open, the winner out of me and Ben was me. We have the GTL fan winner. That's undecided, I believe. I think, no, which one? What is decided, Ben? We've got one of the winners already. Big Al won, I think. This one.
Is Big Al won already?
I think Big Al won the WTA. Or he won one of them.
Well, let's just wait until it's all finished, and then
we'll wait for it all to finish. Then we'll be updating the GTL winner. And for you guys who don't know, what we'll be doing is we'll be having whoever's won the most out of all of you guys at the end of the year, we'll be giving a prize away. So there's a bit of incentive here for you guys. It doesn't cost anything to enter. It's completely free, and you will get a prize to the winner of whoever's had as many, really, and probably a forfeit between me and Ben, whoever loses.
Great.
I'm just breaking that to Ben now. But so far, on the ATV side, it's 2-0 to me, and we've not got the GTL fan winners, but we'll update that after the finals tomorrow. You can see there we've also got 2 tournaments in Melbourne coming up, Murray River, and I can't read it, Ben. What does it say?
What's that? A Great Ocean Road Open?
Basically 2 Melbourne tournaments, ATP Cup, the big one, and then obviously even big Australian Open.
That one.
So we've got that there. Looking at the WTA side.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to JG as well, I think that we're going to be throwing in maybe every month or every couple of months, maybe we'll pick a tournament at random where we'll try and give away some GTL merch when we've got the GTL merch up and running. We're going to get that up and running, and then we're going to select a tournament at random, and hopefully that gives everyone more incentive to get involved. So, yeah, we have a look here. Oh, look who's winning over on the WTA side. That's good. I'm leading the way there. That's great. And
Ben's doing well on this one. Then we've got another few tournaments coming up before Australian Open. So hopefully I can claw one of them back at least. But we'll see how it does. Ben, rightfully champion of Abu Dhabi. So he started that season strong.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's going to be quite fun. We're just going to keep a track of it. And then next year we can see who won each tournament and see how they're getting on the following year.
Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. It's always good to see how everybody else is getting on as well, not just me and JG. We want to see who's winning and who is just that great predictor of these tennis brackets. So very interesting.
We also need to work out, if it is a draw, how we're going to settle it for the GTL Fan of the Year based off results. That's going to be a bit of a tricky one to do.
Yeah,
well, I'm sure we'll work out a way. Maybe we'll go on percentage of correct or something.
Or they'll have to have a fight or something like that.
Yeah.
No, they'll have to have a tennis match. They meet up and have a match. No, there'll have to be some way. We'll devise a way anyway. We got plenty of time left until the end of the year for that to take place. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. I'm excited. I'm annoyed that I missed the whole tournament and I lost one by default, but feel like Djokovic a little bit from the US Open.
It's all right. You get so many tournaments. I'm sure you can make it up. You'll probably be beating me by the end of it.
Let's hope so.
But anyway, let's wrap it up there. The final thing I did want to talk about was obviously Australian Open qualifiers. We're not going to be talking about them now. We're going to do a roundup after they've all done, see who's qualified. But the one thing I can say is Alcaraz is through to the final stage. That's good news. A few other exciting players. We'll get onto that. And on the women's side, something I do want to talk about, I know Mike's just brought it up in the chat, and that is the Francesca Jones story. It's really fascinating, extremely motivational, I think, for her to be doing so well. Obviously, she's a British player and she's just doing incredibly. She's through to, I think, the final stage of qualifying. And for those who don't know, she has 6 fingers and 7 toes. So her story is a very fascinating one. A lot of people writ her off saying she's unable to ever play tennis. She has a different grip altogether for a tennis racket. It's a lighter racket as well. And she's honestly beating all these players and doing phenomenal. So I want to give a big shout out to Francesca Jones on this podcast because she is a motivational person right now. And I'm going to be cheering her on all the way. In a year, 2020 wasn't great. 2021's not started great. But it's nice to have some really positive, great news coming out of early in 2021 just to lift the mood a bit. And I'm certainly, like I said, cheering her on.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's so nice to, like you said, positive stuff coming out of the UK as well. Like, how often does that happen? Especially when tennis is concerned. I mean, you got to just fingers crossed, obviously, that everything just keeps going so well. I don't want to put any GTL curses on anyone, mate. I feel bad when we talk about anybody on here.
I'm not sure if that was a good choice of words. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, for God's sakes. No pun intended. I just want to, because I've sent Huesler a message saying well done for going through the first round of qualifying, and he said thanks a lot. Then he went out the next round, so I'm holding back.
Don't message Francesca. Let's just hope she can do it. Don't need you interfering.
I'm literally holding back my messages of congratulations until they make it into the tournament proper. Otherwise, I won't forgive myself if I'm robbing someone of their eventual victory and getting into these tournaments. But it's been
it's a nice note to end the podcast. Really, I thought it was good to touch on it, and we'll do an update, see hopefully how she's got through, and obviously so many other exciting players. Aslan Karatsev as well, another one who's just phenomenal right now on top form. I
was just going to say
who's she playing?
Who's she? I'm just going to have a quick look at that now, just so that we can let's just give her a due, give her a 15 minutes or whatever they call it. Let's have a quick look. I'm just going to bring up her head-to-head of who she's going to be playing in the final round of the qualifying, which is incredible. So here we go. She's going to be playing Ooh, bring this one up. There we go. So this is who she's playing in the final round. We've got Lou. She's going to be playing.
Oh, that's going to be tough.
And that's
Has he played Lou before?
It's I don't believe so. No, she is the favourite as well in this. If you see that, see her there at the bottom. Yeah, she's going in as the 1.44 favourite.
Yeah, I generally really believe in her. I think she can do it. She's good. She's a good hardcore player, Lou. It seems, but I just believe in her. I just really think she's got something really special about the way she plays. I know I was reading a story was posted today, and she says her key to her success so far is her mentally strong, like how strong she is. Like she never knows when she's lost. Like she will never give up.
Wow.
She's just got such a fight on the court where she gives everything. So many people have told her she's never ever going to be able to play tennis. She's never ever going to be able to compete with the very unfortunate disease she's got. But honestly, I generally believe she's going to do it because she is a warrior and she's already proven she's beaten 2 qualifiers with relative ease.
Nicolescu's really good player as well. She's the one that we always talk about who has the famous slice forehand that she uses nearly every shot and doesn't have any topspin on that side, but grinds out amazing victories all the time. But yeah, to beat her in straight sets is incredible. She beat Fett, who's another player in and around the 200 mark. This is another step up in Lou, but Lou's done pretty well recently, to be fair. She only lost to Kostyuk in 3.
Yeah.
She beat Shinikova, Bulgarian. She did well there and won straight sets on both her matches. But doesn't matter. Come on. We're going to will with the will of GTL. Everybody here in the chat and everybody watching, we're going to be willing Jones through into the Australian Open main draw. Come on. Let's do it, Francesca.
Yeah, and today there, obviously, well done, doing very well in the group as well. Saying I'm addicted to check the GTL league. Hopefully, you all are. Let's do it. It's fun. It's good fun. Bit of competition. It makes watching tennis even a bit sweeter, especially if your person's doing well and you're top of the leaderboard. But yeah, speaking for over an hour, we've definitely got to get to sleep. We've got a long day tomorrow. We'll be doing the WTA final in the morning for a watch along, and then we'll be ending the evening time with Delray Beach final. So hopefully you can all join us for that. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we will do indeed. Take it easy, guys.